Hey, what's up tech fans, fellow YouTubers? Welcome back once again to Tech of Tomorrow. Elric here. So check it out. We brought you the full review of the PowerColor Red Devil RX 480 and the card did pretty damn well. So the first BIOS that came out, it wasn't doing all that hot, but now we have a completely unleashed BIOS that allows us to overclock this card and you will be very surprised at the results at the end of the day. We got this thing to overclock insanely, and for once, using the Trick software now with the new BIOS, we were able actually to increase the memory speed, which really made this card super duper fast. So without any further ado, let's jump in, let's check out our test system, how we did this, and the results, and see how badass and how fucking amazing this card really overclocks at the end of the day. Our test system consists of the following parts. The CPU we're using is an Intel i7-6700 that we keep at turbo mode at 4.4 gigahertz. For the motherboard, we're using an ASRock Z170 overclocked motherboard. And for the memory, we have 16 gigabytes of G.Skill's Ripjaw memory. And for every test, we use the latest drivers available at the time that we did the testing. If you buy yourself a reference RX 480, its clock speeds are going to be at 1266 megahertz. This card had 1330 megahertz for its normal clock speeds, but we were able to get this clock up to 1400 megahertz, and we were able to overclock the memory up to 8500 megahertz, which is simply incredible. At 2125, you see a big difference. So that's really incredible speeds. For the first time ever, we're able to see some memory increase, which we haven't seen before, and that equaled in great, amazing overclocking. Everything actually worked really good. The temperature was only at about 68 to 69 Celsius, so that's actually quite amazing for the overclock on this card. So with that said though, let's jump in and let's actually see how the performance changed between the overclocked version and the standard version and see how much of a big deal it is. So with that said, let's rock out to the benchmark song and let's check out the scores with the overclock scores and the standard scores, and we can even see it against the 1060, which I think as a standard card goes, you'll be pretty surprised. Let's rock. Okay, so you guys can see the PowerColor Red Devil RX 480, especially the one that I have here in this little box. It is an overclocking freaking beast. Up to 1400 megahertz, even able to overclock that memory. We're seeing 2 to 3 frames per second better in a lot of games, and as you guys can see, it's actually beating a reference 1060 Founders Edition. Now, if we take it and we test it against some of the super clock cards that are out there, like the EVGA one, maybe the scores will be a little different. Maybe we'll look into their video in the future. But for now, you guys can see this card overclocked is extremely rocking. 69 Celsius the temperature, not bad at all. Great speeds, great performance. Those 2 to 3 frames per second push it just slightly ahead of a Founders Edition 1060. So if you're an AMD fan, hey, today's a day to celebrate. I'm Elric, you've been watching Tech of Tomorrow. Like usual, all the information about this video will be down there below that like button. Hopefully you AMD fans out there really dig this video because it shows your buddy the RX 480 is an ass-kicking maniac, especially when it comes in the Red Devil format. Yeah.